Hey, what's up everyone? Lord Ryujin here, bringing you another YouTube video. Gonna readjust my camera a little bit. I decided to record in my game room this time. I know it's not much. I still have to find a proper prop and everything. But regardless of that, the Tokyo Game Show is upon us. I already talked about a little bit of the stuff that was shown off by Sony in one of my previous videos. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what Capcom showed off, and they were talking about the big 20th anniversary of Resident Evil, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh man, they're going to announce like a Resident Evil 7, it's going to be survival horror, it's going to be, no, they brought us Umbrella Corps. They brought us another multi-person shooter, and I have no problem with this because there's no problem with having a spin-off game. Like look at Umbrella Chronicles and all that stuff. There's no problem with having a spin-off game. But my problem is that if you continue to make these kind of games, this is the direction that Resident Evil is going to go in. Because I mean, think about it. When you have a game that originally started off as being a survival horror game, and then suddenly it goes to not being a survival horror game anymore, which is what I think what happened around 6. I haven't really played 6. I have 5. Haven't played 5 yet, but 5 and 6 looked more action-y than previous Resident Evil games. And so Revelations came out, it was a little bit more of a survival horror kind of game with action elements to it. But then you have these games like Operation Raccoon City and now Umbrella Corps. And if these games sell, this is what Capcom's going to see, is like, well, this is what people want from Resident Evil, and all we're going to get is going to be action games. Multiplayer, Call of Duty, Halo-esque games that focus more on, rather than be scary, let's just be action-y with a few moments of things in there. You know? And that's not what I want to play Resident Evil for. There's a reason why I haven't picked up Resident Evil 6 yet, and it's because I want to see where the future's going to go. I don't want to just go and pick up... I'm going to pick up 6 anyway, because I do want to have all the games in the main series. But at the same time, though, I want to see if this is going to be conducive of what 7's going to be, because they're coming out with the Resident Evil 2 HD remake, and they made a lot of money off of the Resident Evil remake, because there was the original, and then the director's cut, and then the remake, and now this. So they've done the first Resident Evil like 4 times, plus if you count Deadly Silence on the DS, but whatever. The point of the matter is that they've had a lot of luck with these HD remakes. And this could very well be the trend that they do, is they come out with action games and then they remake the original games again. There really is no telling. But I want to see what the future holds for Resident Evil. Is Resident Evil 7 going to be more of a survival horror game like the past? Or is it going to be more of an action-y game like what we've been seeing from the likes of Operation Raccoon City and stuff like that? Because I think that there's nothing wrong with including that as long as that's in there for the multiplayer. You know, a good example could be that you could have came out with Resident Evil 7, which focuses... Okay, I got a good example. And the best example that I can give to you is Dead Space 2. A game that was a survival horror game at its root. A game that had that story that was a survival horror game, but its multiplayer was more action. You switched between being a necromorph, or I guess they were Marines or whatever they were, but you were basically either a human or you were a necromorph, and you took turns slaughtering each other, and that was more action-y, but it did not affect the game in any way. That is what you could do with Umbrella Corps. You could have came out with a Resident Evil 7 that was a horror game at its core, and then made the Umbrella Corps idea of multiplayer, team-based, person-versus-person shooter as the multiplayer. You could have done that. You could have done it. Oh, look, I get that to an extent you're trying to compete with the Call of Duty crowd and all that stuff, but Capcom, you've seriously got to stop this. I think that this, for one, needs to stop. There is no need for this. If you're trying to compete with Call of Duty, and in my opinion, Call of Duty is slowly going out the door. People are getting tired of it, for one. For two, it's also getting to a point to where you're ruining your series to try to compete with something that no one wants to play. I mean, the Call of Duty crowd is going to play Call of Duty. The Call of Duty crowd is not going to play Resident Evil. The people that want to play Resident Evil are your Resident Evil fans, but you're changing the series so much that your Resident Evil fans don't want to play it. So now you've got a game that the first-person shooter crowd doesn't want to play, and the survival horror crowd doesn't want to play. You've got no one playing your game. And that's just my 2 cents on that, guys. Make sure that you share your opinion in the comments below. What do you think about Umbrella Corps coming out? Do you think that it could be the future of Resident Evil? Do you think that this is just something that they're doing just because Operation Raccoon City, for some crazy reason, made a lot of money and sold a lot of copies, even though it was universally panned by everybody? Share your comments. And I appreciate you watching. As always, guys, I'm Lord Ryujin. Have a good one.